Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday, April 7th, West Fargo City Commission meeting. I'd call the meeting to order. At this time, I would call on Deputy Chief Anderson to escort Troop 279 and their adult leaders and patrol leader, Charlie, to the front of the room, please. We are honored to have Troop 279 with us this evening. They're going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, so would you all please stand and join us? Thank you, Troop 279, for being here. To all the adult leaders that guide them, we appreciate it very much. It makes our community a great place to live and work when these young men and women are doing the things that they do, that all good scouts do. So we're grateful to have you with you. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
I think Rory's on.
Yes.
Okay. So Commissioner Jorgensen,
Yes, virtually.
Commissioner Zundell. Here. Commissioner Jardis.
Here.
Commissioner Olson.
Here.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Let the record show all 5 commissioners are participating. Next order of business is to approve the order of the agenda. The agenda has been distributed and in your packets.
Make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Zundell moves to approve the order of the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Olson seconds. I have a motion and a second to approve the order of the agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Item E is the approval of the minutes of March 17th, 2025. They are before you and in the packet.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Olson moves to approve the approval of the minutes of March 17th. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Anderson seconds. I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Item F is the building permits. The building permits have been distributed in your packet.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Anderson moves to approve the building permits as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Zundell seconds. I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. We are now in the consent agenda portion of the meeting. We have items A through H.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Olson moves to approve the consent agenda, items A through H. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Zundell seconds. I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, items A through H as presented. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. We are now on the regular portion of the agenda. Item number 1 is the public comment. Madam Secretary, I understand you have people that have signed up. Okay. I'll call them in order that I just have them here. First individual is Lana Rockow. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners, staff, and public. My name is Lana Rocco. I'm Chair of the Civic West Committee, Steering Committee, and speaking on its behalf tonight about a vote taken at the March 17th Commission meeting. At that meeting, the Commission approved a motion to discontinue use of the city's public access channel, disenfranchising the public from the city's own ordinance, and hastening the decline of $310,000 of the city's general fund revenue. The City of West Fargo is, as you know, entitled to at least 2 channels from both Midco and Sparklight. These channels are specified in the city's ordinance to be for, quote, public, government, and educational purposes, end quote. In addition to the channels, the companies pay a 4% franchise fee from revenue generated by subscribers, which goes directly into the city's general fund. Bismarck, Fargo, and Moorhead have developed their channels with important local sources of content. West Fargo's channel had a long history through the work of Larry Lubin, whom I'm pleased to note is here tonight. These channels are an asset to the public and should be a benefit to cable subscribers who are paying for them. As subscriptions decline because of streaming services and fees to the city decline as a result, it's in the city's best interest to add value to subscriptions to encourage, not discourage them. This is an opportunity to reimagine how public access channels are managed and how the community can be served. Consider opportunities like broadcasting the Park District's Bone Builders class for seniors, a series on the history of West Fargo, poetry readings and theater productions by members of the community, and Civic West's monthly fire hall chats. Let's involve our young people in making videos, the communication choice of that next generation. We respectfully request that the commission vote to rescind that motion and allow time for a committee, which would include Civic West and representatives of the city, the Park District, the library, the school district, to consult with the public and prepare a proposal. The proposal would address how the city's public access channels would be used, how they'd be managed and programmed, content guidelines, and funding possibilities. Civic West is willing to take a lead in making that committee and proposal happen. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. The next person that I have signed up, again, I'm just going in the order, is Marlene Batterberry. I don't see Marlene in attendance. And her topic was the same as Ms. Rockhouse regarding the public access channel. Moving on, the next person I have is Larry Lubin. Good evening and welcome, Larry.
Thank you, Commissioner, President Ardis, and Commissioners. Thanks for the opportunity to share with you my thoughts on the public access. Having been a volunteer who has worked with the public access venue for over 40 years, I watched with interest, along with the other viewers on YouTube, your meeting and heard your discussion and decision to no longer support the public access opportunity on cable TV. I understand how the information sharing environment has significantly changed over these 40 years. I worked with Harman Cable, Cable One, and now Sparklight to set up the access channel and the various changes and moves as we built new structures, such as when we moved in the police department there. The cable companies of Sparklight and Midco pay franchise fees, which goes into the general fund. And these hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years have helped keep our tax mills down, as do other utility franchises also pay these fees, and they'll do the same thing. It is the responsibility of the cable companies to provide the equipment interfaces to our channel, but there is some cost to the cities to run this. That's for the content and for the manpower to maintain it, such as scheduling, programming, and the like. I feel that we've kind of shortchanged ourselves over the last few years. I feel that we've not worked with the cable companies to upgrade the quality, such as going from standard definition to high definition and that type of thing. I hope that there would be a study of some kind for this issue with the cable companies. In fact, Tammy Rosted, who helped set these up with me with Sparklight back many years ago, she still is with the company in Sparklight. I tried to contact her, and she's in a conference this week, but I'm sure she would have some insight, and as Lana said too, there are other entities all throughout the community that we would get involved with this. We have talked to Sparklight and to Midco, and it is impossible to tell how many are watching each channel. But there are some surveys and other things we can do to try to figure that all out. Not everyone, and myself, including myself, are heavy into social media, such as where a lot of things are going nowadays. And there are a lot of residents that I think are still using the cable function. So it'd be sad to have to close that access point just to spend the small amount of money that we were talking about in that meeting last Thursday. So just need an opportunity to make an informed decision. So I just wanted to pursue if we could as my clock stops, to check into this further. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lubin. The next person we have on the list is Mr. David Withy.
Good evening. I'm David Withy of 2421 McLeod Drive East. Thank you for the opportunity to address you again this evening. I get it. Recently, there was a lot of turmoil. COVID, growing pains from rapid population expansion, high manager turnover, just no time to look at things like public channel access. Now, though, we have a stable administration getting things back in order. Except for the pressure the state will likely create on property taxes and city expenses, taking time away from other opportunities. And I do mean opportunity. Public access channels are not just for public use. They also provide a great opportunity for the city to communicate inexpensively with residents via video, scheduled 24/7, year-round. For instance, last week's canceled budget process program could still be broadcast. The library could play audiobooks for shut-ins. Public Works could explain mosquito control, the Dutch Elm program, properly and improperly handling trash and recycling, and how potholes are taken care of. The police and fire departments could introduce new staff to the community, in addition to various safety programs and their annual reports. Various departments could explain how sales tax revenues are being used. Engineering could explain new projects and covering specials. Planning could explain West Fargo 2.0. In addition, public could offer travel videos from their vacation trips, how-to videos, or videos of local teams at competitions like the recent Cheyenne High School dance team competing at their national championships. Just as examples. The public just needs to know the opportunity exists and how to work with it. As a sales and marketing executive, I respectfully suggest you rethink this. For a first step, rescind last meeting's decision and replace it with a motion asking a group like Civic West to organize a committee with staff liaison to create a complete proposal to bring back to the commission. After all, you've already successfully delegated event management to West Fargo Events. This could work too. Please don't throw away this public relations and communications opportunity for the city. Thank you for your consideration and for your time as commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Withy. The next public comment person I have signed up is Mr. Paul Kripe. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for having me, and thank you guys for doing the job you do. I'm here for, which would be item number 5, which is the 30-06 reconstruction of the Westwood addition. In my neighborhood, speaking to the residents there is a certain opinion going around that we're not getting enough information from the city of West Fargo on what's happening. We're not getting enough information from more engineering. More comes out and talks to different groups of people, and they hear different stories each time. Considering the amount of money that's going to be spent in that area, I think we got to have a little bit more transparency of what's happening, a little bit of more direction from the city, and from more engineering. And that's why I'm here to listen to see what happens to the bids, which one we're going to have of the 4, and how those came about. Because there's a difference of about $2 million in the bids, which then goes against my tax dollars. So I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kripe. I notice several of our department heads are making notes with regard to your questions. Is that the extent of the public comment that you have signed up? Very good. We are now out of the public comment portion, and we are in the public hearing. We have no issues or no items that are public hearings this evening. So we move on to item number 3. Item number 3 is A25-3 DMF Edition, a request for the final plat approval. Aaron Nelson, Director of Planning, the City of West Fargo, will be presenting. Good evening, Aaron. Mr. Nelson, and welcome.
Good evening, and thank you. Just give me a moment, I'll pull this up for you. All right, thanks again. So item number 3 is a request for final plat approval of DMF Edition, including associated subdivision variance and subdivision improvement agreement. This request comes to you with a recommendation of approval from the Planning and Zoning Commission. The subject property includes about 21 acres of land located between the interstate and 23rd Avenue East, located just west of Costco. The applicant is Goldmark Commercial Real Estate on behalf of the owner, Dakota Medical Foundation. Goldmark is represented here tonight by Nate Volmuth, should you have any questions for the applicant. The property is platted currently as a single lot and is within the C Light Commercial Zoning District. Sorry, I lost my mouse here. Emily might need to scroll for me a little bit. Thank you. Just to the next page. And then one more to the plat. Yep, right there, thank you. So the proposed subdivision intends to replat the existing lot into 7 new lots and to dedicate additional right-of-way for Rusted Lane East, which currently dead ends in front of Duluth Trading Company. The subdivision includes a request to reduce the right-of-way and street width for Rusted Lane by 10 feet. A similar reduction was approved for the portion of Rusted Lane that is currently located in front of Duluth Trading. As a result of this reduction, no on-street parking would be allowed on Rusted Lane. The plat includes an additional 10 feet of right-of-way dedication for 23rd Avenue East to accommodate the installation of sidewalk on the north side of 23rd Avenue. In conjunction with the subdivision, the applicant has requested installation of public infrastructure to surface the development, and a subdivision improvement agreement accompanies this plat and is attached to the staff report. To date, staff has received no comments regarding the proposed subdivision plat, and overall, staff finds the proposed subdivision to be consistent with city plans and ordinances as outlined in the staff report. At their March 11th, 2025 meeting, the West Fargo Planning and Zoning Commission voted to recommend approval of the proposed subdivision, and so with that, again, the requested action tonight is to approve the final plat of DMF Edition with the subdivision variance for reduced street width, along with the associated subdivision and improvement agreement. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have for staff.
Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Nelson?
Just
Commissioner Olson?
just making sure that one of the criteria here, that you have no concerns with the proposed 10-foot reduction so long as there's no on-street parking? So we're not going to allow any on-street parking on that little loop right there?
Correct.
Okay.
Additional questions? Anyone? This is an actionable item, Commissioners. Commissioner Zundel moves to approve A25-3 for the Dakota Medical Foundation addition and a request for the final plot approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Olson seconds. We have a motion and a second to approve the final plot as presented by Mr. Nelson this evening. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Item number 4 is to approve the contract for the 9th Street West tree planting project. We're going to call on Mr. Matt Andrick, our Director of Public Works. Good evening, Mr. Andrick, and welcome.
Good evening, Commissioner President, Commissioners. Tonight, we're looking for the approval for the contract for 9th Street West tree planting. This is a similar project that we've done probably the last 4 years. Our forestry department with the Urban Forestry Committee, identified certain areas in town where we kind of have gaps in that tree canopy that would be growing up. This is the most recent one. This, is between 9th Street West from 21st Avenue to 32nd Avenue. It's like about 144 trees that we're doing. We did put out for RFP earlier this spring when we had 10 responses to that. The lowest bid proposal, and the one that we'd like to approve the contract with is for Green Earth or Landscaping LLC, in the amount of $62,148. We estimated earlier that it was going to be around $82,500 for the tree planting, so it came in a little bit lower than we had anticipated, which was good. But this Green Earth, they got the bid, I think, 2 years ago. They've done really good work for us, so we're kind of excited to work with them again. And I'll stand for any questions.
Questions for Mr. Anvik? Anyone?
I have one.
Commissioner Jorgensen? Go ahead.
So I noticed when they did the last set of trees, they came back like every few months and were watering. Is that part of their maintenance plan for this too?
Correct. Yeah, that's part of the contract that they come back. I think they water them for at least a full year, if not two, and then because there's a 2-year warranty period on that. So if anything dies or anything like that within that 2-year warranty period, they'll come back and replant that.
Thank you.
Any additional questions of Mr. Anvik?
Make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Anderson moves to approve the contract for the 9th Street West tree planting. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Zundell seconds. I have a motion and a second to approve the contract for the 9th Street West tree planting projects for a total of $62,148. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 5, Improvement District number 3006, Westwood Addition Reconstruction. City Engineer Dan Hansen will be presenting. Accept the bid and award a contract contingent upon the North Dakota NDEQ environmental review approval. Mr. Hansen.
Thank you, Commissioner President Dardis and Commissioners. At the March 13th, 2025 bids were opened for the reference project. We did receive 4 bids, with the lowest bidder being Celine Brothers in the amount of $5,927,524. The engineering report approved on December 2nd of 2024 estimated a project construction cost of $6,393,000, which did include contingencies. The gentleman was correct that we did open up 4 bids, and the lowest 3 bidders were actually fairly close to each other in bids, and then there was one bidder that rang the bell that was approximately $2 million over the other 3 bidders. But what I'm bringing forth tonight is to approve the lowest responsible bid that we did receive from Celine Brothers. I have worked with Celine Brothers on multiple projects. They're a good contractor, and I think they're going to do very good work. So with respect to what's in front of us, and I can definitely comment on as much as you'd like me to with the gentleman's comments earlier as well, but this is basically a reconstruct of the entire neighborhood from start to finish, all the utilities. An update from the financial perspective on this is we have, if you recall, we are seeking grant money from the state for the water main. We were successful in receiving the first $110,000 that was for the design of the water main, and we've got a meeting upcoming where I believe it's later this week where they would be approving the other money for that grant, and it does look like we will be successful in securing it, but until they vote on it, it's not secured. But I feel very optimistic that we're going to be able to get that grant money for that. The dollars that you see in this report do not include buying down the project of that grant money because it's not secured yet. But we do intend, if we get that we would buy the project down by that amount. So we would look, and I can answer any questions, but looking for approval to award the project to Celine Brothers.
Questions? Commissioner Olson.
Dan, could you refresh my memory? I know this is going to be done in phases, but is it all going to be done in one calendar year?
Yes, it's all one project, and just for access, they have to do the project in different phases. That's correct. Yep. And just also for reference, there is another neighborhood meeting. The invite for that meeting is intended to be mailed tomorrow. And for the public's knowledge, that meeting is going to be scheduled for April 28th from 6 to 8 p.m. over at the fire station. So that'll be an opportunity where, and we waited for this public meeting until after we opened bids, awarded the bid, so that way we can have the contractor present at the meeting to also be able to field any questions and to hear concerns.
In addition to the contractor, will, as Mr. Crape indicated, a disappointment in the communication from some of the external engineering firm. Will they be involved in the conversation as well?
Absolutely, they'll be conducting the meeting.
So a timeline and how the scope of work will unveil and things will be made available to the public at that time?
Yes, that's correct.
I'd still like you, if you would please, to exchange information with Mr. Kripe with regard to any issues that he's had up to this point, so in future bids and things, we may alleviate those types of concerns.
Yep, absolutely.
Anything else for Mr. Hanson?
Move we approve.
Commissioner Olson moves to approve District Number 3006 Westwood Addition reconstruction, to accept the bid and award a contract contingent upon environmental review. The contract goes to Celine Brothers Contracting, $5,927,524. Your second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? You have your, thank you, Mr. Hanson.
Thank you.
Item number six is project number 1351. It's a sanitary lift station, sanitary 27 rehabilitation. Again, we're going to call on Mr. Hanson, the city engineer, to discuss this. Purpose of the discussion is to approve the engineer's report, direct plans and specification, and approve a task order.
Thank you, Commissioner, President Ardis, and Commissioners. We had, at the March 3rd meeting, I was instructed to prepare the engineer's report, and that is included in the packet. The lift station, sanitary lift station SA-27 is the major lift station south of the interstate that takes basically all of the sanitary sewage from south of the interstate and pumps it north up into sanitary lift station SA-40. SA-40 is the lift station that pumps all of the sewage from the entire city over to the city of Fargo. In recent rain events where there's been some high infiltration, I&I issues, SA-27 has struggled to keep up. It's also over 20 years old, and there are some things that have just worn out that are in need of repair, but we're also looking to expand the capacity of that lift station by installing some bigger pumps. With that, there's piping that's involved with it, a bigger generator, and some other ancillary things to the lift station. That is all contained within that engineering report, but basically to summarize it, we're going to rehabilitate that lift station to keep up with the flows that we're currently seeing in our higher rain events. So that way we don't have any backups into basements. And with that, I'll entertain any questions on the project.
Questions for Mr. Hanson? Commissioner Olson?
Just, Dan, could you just explain for the public what I&I is?
Yeah, it's inflow and infiltration. So basically, if there's any ancillary water that's not sewage that gets into our sewage system, for example, every time it rains, we see the amount of volume of our sanitary sewer just absolutely spike. It can be caused by a number of things. Generally speaking, any openings into the sanitary sewer. However, the whole south side has been built in the last 20, 25 years for the most part, so it's mostly PVC and it's a very closed system. I'm very confident that what we're seeing here is infiltration and inflow coming from some pumps that people are not discharging into their yards when it rains in the summertime and during snow melt events in the springtime. So that's where we see the majority of our spikes. There was at the March 3rd meeting, I presented a rain event that we had back in May where, and Matt can correct me, but it was roughly like 10 million gallons that we ended up pumping that day, where that's far, far exceeding any type of factor of safety that you would build into a lift station or into a sanitary system. So I don't have any doubt that this is sump pump water that's really creating this issue.
And we're only contracted with the city of Fargo to take in X number of gallons per day roughly, or throughout the whole year, so every little drop from a sump pump costs the city extra money.
It costs the city extra money. It also takes up capacity in our expansion of our system. And yeah, to go back to your point, it costs the city a lot of money to be able, because we're paying to pump and Fargo to treat water that's being pumped out of sump pumps that could be discharged out into yards and taken care of for free in our storm sewer system.
Thank you, Dan.
Any additional questions? And again, this is part of our CIP.
Yep, this was a project that was included in the 2024 CIP, and it is intended to be used out of sanitary funding for that project. There are no special assessments.
CIP is a community improvement plan. This is budgeting forward 5 years to what expenditures we might have to make within the city of West Fargo. So when we refer to the CIP, it's a community improvement plan. Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
I make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Zundell moves to approve project number 1351, to approve the engineer's report, direct plans and specifications, and approve a task order. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Anderson. Commissioner Anderson seconds. We have a motion and a second to approve project number 1351. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Hanson.
Thank you.
Item number 7 is project number 2279, 9th Street East Veterans Boulevard pedestrian safety improvements. Again, we call on City Engineer Dan Hanson. Purpose of the discussion is to review the bid and concur with the North Dakota DOT's recommendations. Mr. Hanson.
Thank you, Commissioner President and Commissioners. This is a project that is going to be taking place in West Fargo. It was bid out by the DOT because of the funding source. For the project, we do have a 90% grant for the construction portion of this. It's going to be basically taking a look at intersections along 9th Street all the way south on Veterans to do some pedestrian safety improvements to the signals, as well as to align several of the left turning lanes so that way it would support flashing left yellow arrow. This project has been reported before, but I'd be happy to answer any questions for it. With the DOT having opened the bids, what they're looking for us is to concur with the DOT to award the contract to Sun Electric in the amount of $1,211,926.55, which was below the engineer's estimate, design estimate.
So you're looking for the City Commission's approval to allow staff time to research this to concur with the North Dakota DOT's recommendation.
Staff already does concur with it. We're looking for the commission to give approval for the DOT to award the project.
Thank you for clarifying.
I'll make the motion.
Commissioner Olson moves to approve project number 2279 to review the bid and concur with the North Dakota DOT's recommendations for 9th Street East Veterans Boulevard pedestrian safety improvements. Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Zundell seconds. I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item number 8 is the city administrator's employment contract. We call on Sarah Goshevic, Director of Human Resources.
Can I get clarification on that last vote for Commissioner Jorgensen?
He's aye.
Okay.
Aye.
5-0.
Okay, thank you.
I rushed it a little bit.
A little delay there.
Good evening, Commissioner Dardis and Commissioners. Tonight I am pleased to present to you the final contract for the city administrator. We have gone through both the creation of the contract and the negotiations. As there were no amendments to what Commission had put into place for the negotiation process at the previous meeting, we did not have anything to bring back. So the only edits that have been made to the document at this point are to update the dates that needed to be put within it. And so I'm looking for a motion from commission to approve the contract so we can have it signed and done.
Commissioners, any questions? Commissioner Zundell?
Did you resend out the finalized contract?
No, it's still as it stands from the other evening when we were going through everything.
Didn't we make some changes to it from the other meeting?
Not after that meeting, no.
But did you send out the updated with the amendments that we made in that meeting?
No. No, so this includes those amendments, but no, I did not send that out to you guys separately.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Olson moves to approve. Is there a second, please? Is there a second, please? Commissioner Zundell?
Yeah, I think I mainly just want to see it before I vote on it. I guess I'm having a hard time.
Not without notification. Right.
So prior notification.
Motion dies to do a lack of a second. Thank you.
I would ask then, does the commission wish for that to be sent out and brought back at the next commission meeting?
I personally just want an opportunity to review the finalized document before I vote on it.
Okay.
As would I.
Moving on, item number 9, City Administrator's Report. Mr. Scott.
Good evening. Thank you, Commission President Dardis and Commissioners. First and foremost, congratulations to the library on their unveiling of their new satellite location here. They've done a fantastic job, and we're excited for them to move forward at this location. If you weren't here, in the last week, they've had over 300 people through this satellite location. So again, very effective. We're excited for the opportunity. So again, congratulations to Jenna and her team. Just one update for you relating to utility billing. As you are aware, last year, the Commission authorized to move forward with new utility billing software. We are at the final stages of implementation. We hope to implement fully in May. Residents will see some changes. Our communication team is going to get that information out over the next couple of weeks before that change takes place. So just want to make that publicly aware that May will be our first billing cycle with this new software. That's really all I have for updates, but I will stand for any questions if you have them.
Questions of Mr. Scott? Are you going to have redundancy with the new software and Black Mountain?
Well, do I understand the question correctly? Are we going to use both softwares simultaneously?
Yes.
We will run another report out of Black Mountain just to confirm that things are working properly, yes.
Yep.
We won't continue to do that, though.
Very good.
We will shelf Black Mountain and move on.
Well, for the utility billing part, right?
Correct, yes. Yep, just for utility billing, Black Mountain is still our accounting software.
Very good. But we do not need another situation like we experienced before.
Absolutely.
That's the reason for my question. Very good.
Yep.
Any questions for Mr. Scott?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All your correspondence has been distributed to your mailboxes. Commissioners, do you have any non-agenda item you'd like to bring forward at this time? Department heads, anything that you'd like to bring forward at this time, non-agenda item? Okay, Commissioner Anderson,
Move to adjourn.
Commissioner Jorgensen.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. We stand adjourned.